So, just minutes ago, Canelo Alvarez informed Ring Magazine's Mike Coppinger that he will be undergoing elbow surgery and that he is hoping to return to the squared circle mid to late 2026. Listen, beautiful people. You know me, if you've been watching me for a while now, I've been posting consistently in the past 2 months. Made this channel a couple of years ago when I was in college, but now that I'm back home, I'm posting consistently. And if you have been watching me for the last couple of months, you know that I like to give all fighters all the respect and credit in the world. And leading up to the Bud fight, I gave Canelo all the respect and all the credit in the world, even though I picked Bud. But when I see something lame, when I see something absolutely, I'm gonna keep it calm and respectful, but when I see something this lame, I gotta call it out. And that was one of the lamest things I have ever seen from Canelo Alvarez. I absolutely love Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez stood with the people of Gaza. That alone will forever make me an admirer and a supporter of Canelo Alvarez, but I gotta keep it honest, and that is why you like to tune in, beautiful people. It's because I will always give it to you straight, even when I'm talking about my favorite fighters. But why in the world, let's talk about this, beautiful people, why in the world would Canelo Alvarez, few weeks after he lost to Bud Crawford, why would he inform Mike Coppinger and the Ring Magazine that he will be undergoing elbow surgery? Why? Well, we know what it is. There's only one reason. He's not informing Mike Coppinger so that Mike Coppinger can keep it a secret. He's not informing Mike Coppinger so that he can get some emotional support. He's basically telling Mike Coppinger so that Mike Coppinger can report the news to the boxing world and to the entire world. Canelo Alvarez is truly an exceptional man. More than he's an exceptional fighter. I honestly couldn't care less about fighters inside the ring. What I care about more is the fighter and the human, most importantly, outside the squared circle. And Canelo Alvarez, outside the squared circle, we already know what the man is inside the squared circle. He's unbelievable. He's an icon. He's one of the GOATs. But outside the squared circle, he's an exceptional human being. But I can't understand for the life of me, why in the world is Canelo Alvarez making excuses now? You gave Bud Crawford all the credit and all the respect and all the admiration in the world after the fight. And that made me fall in love with the personality and the human side of Canelo even more. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I made a video a day after the fight. I was like, I don't care that Canelo lost. He will forever have my love and respect. And still, nothing has changed. But what was that? What's that? That's so lame. Like, an elbow surgery? Really? What do you think, beautiful people? How do you think Bud Crawford felt heading into the fight? Do you think that he was 1,000,000%? How do you think Beterbiev entered versus Bivol 4 months after his knee surgery? Do you think he entered at 100%? How do you think Bivol entered versus Beterbiev in the first and second fight? Do you think Bivol was 100%? How do you think Spence entered versus Crawford? How do you think Crawford entered versus Spence? How do you think all these fighters feel entering all these mega blockbuster fights? They're all bashed up, they're all bruised up, they're all hurting from training and sparring with absolute killers for 10 to 12 weeks. Of course you're not going to enter the ring feeling like the same way you're feeling when you wake up in a holiday at a hotel, at a resort in front of the beach. Of course not. You're in war mode. You're training like an absolute Spartan. Your body from head to toe will be everything but healthy. And let's be honest, the sport of boxing isn't a sport. If you actually think about it, it is war. War. Yes, we like to call it the noble art of boxing, but it is absolute war. I mean, you are going to war with people in the gym. You are going to war with people in front of millions around the world. I mean, it is an absolute war. You can call tennis a sport. You can call basketball a sport. But yes, you can call boxing a sport, but it's a different type of sport. You can't compare it to other sports. So, I can't lie. I can't lie, beautiful people. I love Canelo Alvarez. But I was very disappointed with this. Like, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Like, is the man saying this so that we're gonna get a rematch? And there will be this built-in excuse for the first fight? Or is the man saying that because his pride is hurting? And let's be honest, Canelo is a prideful man. And you gotta love it, you gotta respect it. All men. I mean, if you are a man without a pride, then are you really a man? And you can also make the case that that is why he didn't fight David Benavidez, because he got way too much pride. He doesn't want to pass the torch to David. He doesn't want his fans to become David fans, even though David is part Ecuadorian. And look, you know the deal. You can definitely love and support Canelo, but call him out when you see something like this. And that is the bottom line, beautiful people. You know, yes, Canelo is an absolute icon, absolute legend, inside and outside the ring. There's absolutely nothing bad that I can say about the man. But when I see something like this, like just all of a sudden, a few weeks after the fight, Mike Coppinger goes out and says that Canelo has informed me that he's undergoing elbow surgery. Like, that is such an unnecessary statement and announcement to make. Let Bud Crawford just enjoy and celebrate the victory. Why do we have to always take something away from the winner? Am I crazy here? Am I being too harsh on Canelo? Please let me know. Because if there's one person who always gives Canelo all the love and respect and credit in the world, it's me. It's yours truly over here. And not just Canelo, all fighters. Except that small insecure little man. That guy who couldn't, you know what if you know, you know. The other guy. But I give everyone their credit, except that small insecure little man. But getting back to the topic, I don't know, I don't get it. I don't like it. And to be honest, as a Canelo fan, I am extremely disappointed with this. And actually, if you go back to my videos, when I made that video about Canelo's sparring partners, what did I say? If you go back to, I believe it was the Jerome sparring video. I said that Canelo is sparring absolute killers, but that will definitely get him sharp and ready, but that will also do and take a lot out of Canelo. A lot of wear and tear. You know, most of these fighters, they don't get damaged really inside the ring, like under the bright lights. But in all honesty, they suffer 90% of the injuries and bruises in the camp. It's because they're going with absolute killers, round after, 3-4 sparring partners in 12 rounds. Every 3-4 rounds, someone fresh comes in, gives you absolute dog work. So these things are definitely expected. You know, when you talk about someone like Canelo or Bud, who are sparring absolute monsters in their camp for 8 to 10 to 12 weeks. But we don't have to know this. You don't have to tell us this. We all know that you and Bud, there's absolutely no chance whatsoever that you entered that fight in September 13, completely unscathed. It is absolutely impossible. Why? Because you guys are human at the end of the day. And you guys have been sparring absolute monsters for the longest. So we already know that both of you aren't 100%. But we don't need you to tell us that you're undergoing surgery. I mean, just do the surgery and get on with it, because we're already not going to see you until May at least. But maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know.